Hey everyone, your boy Dave back again with CivOps Gear, reviewing all the EDC gear for everyone from the discerning civilian all the way to the experienced operator. Today, we're going to take a look at some interesting products here from SOG. These are not new to market. These are the SOG Q multi-tool series, the Q1, 2, 3, and 4. These are not new to market. They're somewhat new to me. I've seen them, I've thought about playing with them for a while. They are very interesting. They're definitely a very interesting new kind of form factor of multi-tool. So let's go to the mat, take a look at the SOG Q series of multi-tools. Stick with me. Let's go to the mat right now. My friends, here we are at the mat. Once again, we got to stop meeting like this at the mat. Okay, before we get started, my good friends, my amigos, make sure you go and hit the subscribe button for me. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like. Hit that bell down there somewhere. And then write something in the comment like, hey, I like those, or hey, I don't like those. All right, let's get started here. The SOG Q series of multi-tools. What an interesting thing here. They obviously sat down and said, okay, how can we start from step one and just rethink this whole thing? And they included a lot of the standard tools that we're all used to, but there's a different combination of things within the series. So let's go ahead and start out with the SOG Q1. You notice that all of them have sort of a pen shape to them. So SOG 1, naturally enough, has a pen. And it writes, and no problem. You can refill it. And pushing that little thing in should let it go. It does. All right, so what else is in Q1? You got a pen. You also have scissors. Okay, spring-loaded scissors. So that can be convenient, right? So that's good. Got a pen and scissors so far. And what's the last thing we got? Bottle opener, little flathead screwdriver, and a bottle opener. So there you go. Pocket clip. This can slide in any pocket that could hold a marker or a like a stiletto type knife, if you have something like that. Could hold a flashlight. Flashlight is another common EDC item. Speaking of flashlights, let's go to SOG Q2. Q2, what do you bring to the table that we need? Q2, in my opinion, is the most EDC based of all four of the Qs. And the reason I say that is because SOG Q2 is based on giving you a flashlight and a knife. And what are the two of the most basic EDC things that almost everyone in the EDC world carries? A knife and a flashlight. Q2 gives you a flashlight, an LED flashlight, right on the tip of the device. So there you go, you've got a flashlight built in. And then this is a very, very interesting deployment. This is very, very interesting. I actually kind of like it. Those of you familiar with the SOG multi-tools, it will not be unfamiliar for you to see these gears at play. Those gears are what allow SOG, other SOG multi-tools have been using these for a long time as their mechanisms to rotate and bend. So SOG uses these gears again here, and they've got up on the top this little tiny switch right here with the red button on it. And all you do as you hold this device is just barely push a little pressure on that button, and right away you can fold down the top of the device and expose a knife. Now you've got a pretty sharp work blade. I'm sure this is probably 440 stainless, something like that. And on the other end, your flashlight. So flashlight, knife, and again, just like in Q1, you've got your bottle opener, flathead screwdriver. So let's look one more time. Still got the pocket clip, fit in any pocket that the Q1 will fit into. And on this end, our light. And on this end, a very interesting deployment mechanism for a handy knife. And it's also just sort of fun to watch those SOG gears rotate themselves around. It's just a fun mechanism to watch. All right, there's Q2. Both of these are pretty handy. You know, already we get into the main issue with multi-tools though. I want the pen, I want the scissors, I want the knife, and I want the flashlight. Why do I have to carry two different things? We'll get back to this. Here's the SOG Q3. This is a little bit thicker. This is a little bit heftier of a device. You can see the difference in size between both of these. You can see that the Q3 is stepping up the size a little bit in both thickness, weight, all around dimensions. The Q3, right off the bat, brings you spring-loaded pliers. Convenient. However, I tried using these the other day, and I did run into an issue. You put too much torque on these in the wrong direction, and all of a sudden, they slip right out from your hand. And so, you know, they slip right down on themselves. So you got to be a little bit careful using these. I mean, this is for light duty use. It does have cutting tips inside, as well as the needle nose pliers. It has these cutting tips. All right, so you've got the pliers. What else do we have in the Q3? Well, we've got a little bit more of, you see, a traditional kind of a Swiss Army style that deploys multiple tools that rotate out of the body. Right here we have a scraper. That's pretty cool. Kind of interesting. We have a scraper. We have this Phillips head screwdriver. We have an awl. And we have a eyeglass screwdriver. If you can see that there. Tiny little flathead. Appears to be an eyeglass screwdriver. Now there's a locking mechanism on the back of this. As you'll see here, you press down here and that raises up the little lock and allows you to fold all of these back into place. On the other side, what do we have on the other side here? We have, what's on this other side? Come on, other side. Oh, okay, we've got a knife blade. We have a file. We have a flathead screwdriver and bottle opener. And we have a can opener and smaller flathead screwdriver. All right, so a can opener, bottle opener, some flatheads, a file, and a knife. Again, just like the other side, locking mechanism allows them all to fold back into place. So those are all the devices in the Q3. Finally, let's have a look here at the Q4, the mother of all of the Qs. The Q4 and Q3 share about the same thickness, but the Q4 has a little bit longer tip on it, and you're going to see why. So the Q4 comes with a storage of multi-bits, and the storage device is magnetized, and so you can easily and conveniently keep the devices together. It really holds pretty well on there. So there's your bits. The Q4 again has the same pliers that the Q3 had, with the cutting tip and the needle nose, the same pliers. And on one side has some of the same tools. It has your can opener and small flathead. It has your larger flathead and your bottle opener. It has your file, and it has your knife blade. Pretty factory sharp. So it has all four of those, just like the Q3 had. But on the other side, you have one bit that stores with you inside the device, flathead and Phillips, and that slides into a bit holder on the edge of the Q4. And with this little switch here, you can flip the directions that this ratchets. So that is pretty handy, actually, if I do say so myself. Now that we've looked at all of these, the issue I have here is that there are multi-tools out there that combine all of these things, maybe save for one or two. Most of these things into one. SOG makes some of those multi-tools that combine all these things into one. Leatherman, of course, is super famous. Swiss Army makes a lot of these tools in one. And so, I'm seeing a product line here that is maybe a little bit more niche, maybe a little bit more specific, like I really just need this, or I really just need this tool. Don't care about the rest. If you're the kind of person like myself who likes to have everything, your cake and eat it too, you could probably find a device that combines many of these things. That said, these are pretty cool, and I like the look of them. I like the kind of sleek, modern design. I like how much functionality is packed into each one. And if it's a kind of situation where you're like, I just want a generic multi-tool to keep with me, a Q3 might be a great option. It packs, I think, the most variety punch for the form factor. Maybe you're, like I said, an EDC person, and just a light and a knife is perfect. Let's do a very quick size review for you per our standard CivOps operating procedure. Here are the SOG Qs next to some balls. CivOps balls. All right. But more importantly, let's have a look at the CivOps ruler. The Q3 is coming in your pocket 6.5 inches. Just over 6.5 inches long. The Q1 coming in your pocket at 6 inches long. And the amount in your pocket will be 5 inches. So you'll have just a hair over 5 inches actually inside your pocket, and the rest obviously outside the pocket clip. So, my friends, if any of these are cool to you, if you haven't played around with these much and this was helpful to you, go ahead and leave me a review. If you want to buy any of these are basically all brand new, unused. I'm going to probably be unloading these. If you're interested in buying any of these, let me know. Other than that, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of these devices. Are these something you guys would carry, or are you dead set on your Swiss Armies and your Leathermans and things like that by now? What do you think? Worth trying out? Hit me up in the comments. Let me know. See you guys on the very next CivOps gear review. And remember, if you know where the bell is, come on, hit the bell, apparently. Thanks, guys. See you next time.